The year is 2025. The world watches in a state of perpetual bewilderment. This is DEI in full effect. America, once a beacon of democracy, finds itself teetering on the precipice. Donald Trump, the man who once vowed to drain the swamp, has returned, and he's brought with him a nominee so outlandish, so utterly baffling, that it could only be described as peak Trumpian absurdity. DEI didn't earn it. His name is Kash Patel, not a diversity, equity, and inclusion. This DEI means didn't earn it, and he's been nominated to lead the FBI. Kash Patel is an American lawyer, former federal prosecutor and official, and conspiracy theorist. He served as a National Security Council official, chief of staff to the acting U.S. Secretary of Defense, and senior advisor to the acting director of national intelligence, all during the first presidency of Donald Trump. In November 2024, President-elect Trump nominated Patel to succeed Christopher Wray as director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. From Patel's resume, you can see he seems to have the pedigree to be the FBI director. But looks can be deceiving. Kash Patel is a QAnon conspiracy theorist, with links to the January 6th insurrection. Makes claims of a deep state conspiracy. Claims to have an enemies list that includes politicians and members of the media. It is believed that Patel, as a private citizen, was purging FBI agents who was involved in January 6th prosecutions, false claims about 2020 election fraud, QAnon conspiracy, COVID-19 vaccines, and then the false claims that the FBI instigated the January 6th United States Capitol attack, claiming it was planned as long as a year in advance. With Patel's denial claims about the January 6th choir, along with denials of an enemies list, claims he did not say he was going to target the media, it proves Patel completely unqualified to be the FBI director. It's clear Patel committed perjury in front of the senators. There is plenty of evidence to prove Patel lied to senators under oath. Numerous interviews gives clear evidence of Patel's lies. Interviews with Steve Bannon and Stu Peters proves Patel's lies. This makes Patel totally unacceptable, the wrong person to be the FBI director. A role that deserves honesty, integrity, and trust. Qualities Patel is seriously lacking. The DOJ should actively pursue Patel for perjury. Patel is a fine example of a DEI hire. And that's not diversity, equity, and inclusion. For Patel, DEI means didn't earn it. I'm in two minds about Donald Trump. I wonder if Trump is trolling us, or if he's playing games, seeing just how far he can push Republican senators and congressmen and congresswomen, testing their stupidity, exposing that they are so thick they'll do anything he says. Watching them bend the knee to a convicted felon must be so embarrassing for them. By the way the Republicans are acting around Donald Trump, you wouldn't be wrong if you woke up and thought you were in North Korea. Watching elected American politicians starting their sentences with, "Thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership." These Republicans are pathetic, weak, and incompetent. A man a judge called a rapist makes them panda to his every word. The very idea of Patel should send shivers down the spines of anyone who values the integrity of American democracy. Because Patel is not just a controversial figure. He is a walking, talking red flag, a human embodiment of the dangers of unchecked ambition and blind loyalty. Where to even begin with Patel's descent into the fever swamps of conspiracy? He's like a walking encyclopedia of outlandish claims. QAnon, he's dabbled. The deep state, he's practically written the manifesto. This isn't just a man who enjoys a good conspiracy theory. This is a man who seems to have built his entire worldview around them. He sees shadowy figures lurking around every corner, pulling the strings of power. He's convinced that there's a cabal of elites working tirelessly to undermine America from within. And who are these supposed enemies of the state? Well, according to Patel, they include anyone who dares to question his beliefs, challenge his version of reality, or, God forbid, criticize his dear leader Donald Trump. Journalists, politicians, even fellow intelligence officials. If you've incurred Patel's wrath, chances are you've found yourself on his infamous enemies list. Yes, you heard that right, an enemies list. Because nothing says I'm definitely not paranoid like keeping a list of everyone you perceive as a threat. Then there's the small matter of the January 6th insurrection. You know, that little incident where a mob of angry Trump supporters, fueled by lies about a stolen election, stormed the U.S. Capitol in a violent attempt to overturn the results of a Democratic election. Patel's involvement in that fateful day has been the subject of much scrutiny, and for good reason. He's been accused of downplaying the severity of the attack, dismissing it as a peaceful protest that got a little out of hand. Some even allege that he was in communication with key figures involved in the planning and execution of the insurrection. And then there's the curious case of the January 6th choir. This supposed group, allegedly composed of Trump allies who were in contact with the insurrectionists on that day, has become the stuff of legend. Patel, for his part, vehemently denies any knowledge of such a group. He claims it's nothing more than a figment of the media's overactive imagination. But the more he denies it, the more suspicious it all seems. It's like a child denying they ate the last cookie, crumbs still clinging to their cheeks. Section 4. A Museum of Shadows. But perhaps the most chilling example of Patel's disdain for the FBI came when he boldly declared his intention to transform the iconic Hoover Building into a museum of the deep state. Yes, you heard that right. This man, who aspires to lead the FBI, wants to turn its headquarters into a monument to a conspiracy theory. One can only imagine what relics would be enshrined in this shrine to paranoia. Hillary Clinton's emails, perhaps? Hunter Biden's laptop? A life-size diorama of Barack Obama taking away everyone's guns? It's a statement so ludicrous, so utterly detached from reality, that it would be laughable if it weren't so terrifying. This isn't just about one man's warped sense of humor, it's a glimpse into the mind of someone who sees the FBI, not as a vital law enforcement agency, but as an enemy to be vanquished. And therein lies the true danger of a potential Patel directorship. It's not just that he's unqualified, though he most certainly is. It's not just that he's a conspiracy theorist, though he undeniably is that too. It's that he represents a fundamental threat to the very institutions he seeks to lead. Section 5. The Kremlin's Shadow. As if Patel's domestic entanglements weren't troubling enough, there's the small matter of his ties to foreign adversaries. Specifically, his curiously cozy relationship with certain individuals and entities linked to Russia and China. Now, we're not saying that Patel is a foreign agent, but let's just say that if we were making a movie about a man with questionable foreign connections, well, let's just say Patel would be our leading man. The details of these connections are murky, shrouded in a veil of secrecy and non-disclosure agreements. But the whispers persist. Rumors of secret meetings, of undisclosed financial dealings, of a man who seems all too eager to cozy up to those who seek to do America harm. We may never know the full extent of Patel's foreign entanglements, but one thing is clear: where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And in Patel's case, the smoke is starting to look awfully thick. Is Patel guilty of perjury? Do you think Patel is suitable to be the FBI director? With Patel's connections to QAnon and China, is Patel the right man for the job? Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.